they don't feel because look, the majority of Philly is but don't they fill up the whole prison? What is Allah doing?
And
You see
killing
what
each
I'm
other,
saying?
and selling drugs, like that coming to that is not prospering our nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's not working for us, because it's not for us. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't stop smoking weed. I couldn't stop smoking cigarettes. Selling drugs, running. I mean, going to jail was just something that came with the game. You know what I mean? But coming to these laws, the commandments was the only way that I got the power to stop smoking, to despise it. Like I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around the cigarettes. It's because our people are looking for the truth, right? We don't go to Christianity because we see Muslims cut Christians, Trinity, with all these things that we don't see. We cut the Christians on the truth, right? Right. So our people are looking for the truth. And see, okay, we see Islam cut Christianity. That came before us coming out here, so where people are starting to be awakened to what we see. So they didn't really come this direction, but they got so sewn into this Islamic faith that they like, I'm not looking at that. You're not to turn me over here over there. They're so connected to it, but they're not connected to it. God. They're not. There's some Muslims that do, some Muslims that know the person well. This thing, obviously, from God.
Right. And that is that's why I was doing this. I wanted to get away from that white supremacy. Yeah. Listen, every time I see Christianity, it's white. I was like, man, around, you see the only other strength is
Because militant is Islam.
right.
Sure. You know what I mean? That's what we fight. That's what we fight. But we're militant against our people. We're not militant against
each other.
Yeah.
There's a brother saying something other than they can't know. Slave for the European excuse my language, but
no,
it's good.
Nigga was in the fight.
African. Same thing. The sub-Saharan slave trade, for sure. And it was a copy. The language no more, and he found a bunch of boys that never got down. They don't teach them everything. Out there. All you can show these boys, all the archaeological like if Allah was powerful, I see a lot. Right. You see what I'm saying? Nothing. Bro, they did not the Kaaba stone over there is flooded. Dubai is flooded. Palestine is full of rock with 7 See what I'm saying? Like rebelling, I'm telling you, bro. Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy over there. Yeah, they try to keep
the algorithm of the
right.
Yeah.
Stop. See y'all. White.
Well, the Jewish, right? All right. So the white man today, they can't go on the beach without sunblock for an hour. That's true. They get skin cancer. Right. So the real Jews was building pyramids in Egypt for hundreds of years. So it's impossible unless they had sunblock in Egypt.
Yeah, y'all did what the hell was going
on. Dying. So who do you know that has a pattern of being in and out of slavery? Jews, but who do we see today that has a pattern? Us, so-called blacks and so-called. Yeah. All right.
Bluetooth mode.
My bad. Test. All right. We're going to salute everybody. So, all praise to the Most High God of Israel, whose true name is Yahweh, and the name Yahweh Shah, who Jesus Christ. Right? The Most High God of Israel is not dealing with the people in the land today.
Right.
The Most High God of Israel is dealing with the descendants of the name Jacob, whose later name Israel, and all his descendants will be the Israelites. Ike being a descendant, a suffix for the descendant of that name. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we can prove with prophecy, history, and archaeology that y'all are the biblical Israelites. Right? We can prove that. We come out here to prove that. We come out here to prove the authenticity of this Bible, the truth of this Bible, right? But we come out here to talk about whatever our people want to talk about, man. You know what I mean? We can talk about science, we can talk about Islam, we can talk about Christianity, we can talk about the Bible, we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. We got a brother here, beautiful brother with a beautiful spirit that wants to get some information. So we gotta let him handle his business. But you gotta percent. Let me get your some percent.
That was put on my head. And I came back home. Sorry. This is Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Right, the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is in the midst of Israel. He's not in the midst of the land of Israel. He's in the midst of the people of Israel. You going?
And that I am the Lord your God.
He's the God of the Israelites, and who else?
And none else.
Right? He's not the God of anyone else, according to popular belief that God is the God of everybody. According to the Bible, he's only the God of the Israelites. Keep going.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
The king, like it says, his people will never be ashamed. You see, the only people that's not ashamed to come out and teach what they believe in is the Israelites. Like, it's just us, and we got another brother that's coming. But besides us, we the saints. You got Sakari that comes out here. You got HOI that comes out over here. You got Washington Israel that goes out from 9th and 10th Market. Like, we're not just in Philadelphia. We all.
Yeah, didn't he?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then they got the Kyrie Irving situation.
They showed up. They showed up. But then my thing was Gaddafi gave that boy Faircom $1 billion, $1 trillion. They got a whole material. They ain't doing nothing. Like he knows what's going on. He got the damn power. Like even when he wants to speak, all he do is quote the Bible. He won't never go into the store. Go into the no. Now that you say that, God, don't touch it. Always the Bible is told.
It's Quran, like it's recited, like in order to get like in depth detail, because they'll talk about Solomon, they'll talk about Job, they'll talk about the Quran, but to get an in-depth understanding of what went on in that time period, you have to Bible. So we absolutely. So I want to start in Genesis. If I was you, I would start watching videos. Right? Go start watching videos. We the Saints. If you don't mind, if you give me your phone, I'm gonna put you on to the Saints, and I'm gonna put you on Sakari. Us, we learn from Sakari. You know what I mean? All right, so
I can't ask to go to work, bro. I should start doing money.
no, I want to put the sins. You got an Android church. Oh, this is an iPhone. Lord, please. Man, y'all had right. It's a pleasure to have somebody actually come. Yeah, y'all. Like right now, Rob, like we ain't got you on Rob right now, like we don't want to, you know, we don't want to get things like we we was over there on Ninth and Market, and I saw this little brother. And he was into it. He was listening. I just had to look and don't put him on camera. He just tell me that no. Then you see him next week on the news. He was a brother that took the cops on the chase bank to their car and injured two cops.
Right.
So I mean, so in order to subscribe, you got to sign. So go to song thing.
This is Psalms 83 from the top. Keep not thou silence, O God.
We asking God to keep silence because of things that happen to us. Because of accidents. Yeah. You got to tell. So you got this number. 215. Any questions or anything you want to deal with? You know what I mean? We here to come serve you. I love you. All praise. So all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High God of Israel. True name is Yahweh. The name of Yahweh Shah, world he calls Jesus Christ, right? We out here for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Hebrew Israelites, right? Y'all not black, you're not African American, you're not Negro, you're not colored, right? These are all the terms that was put on us by the fathers of these people right here, right? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian was all terms that was put on us by the European Caucasian colonizers. Right. Let me get this. My Instagram always acting up. Salakia family. Right, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is what we come out here for. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Hebrew Israelites. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian was put on you by your colonizer, by your slave master. And we no longer go by those terms, right? Right? We know who we are. We are the Hebrew Israelites, right? We can prove that with prophecy, history, and archaeology. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all are not Muslim, right? Muslim is an Arab religion. Y'all not Christians. Christianity came over here to colonize and exploit so-called blacks and Native Indians. So you got Christianity that came and forced the European Caucasian white man forced Christianity on the world. And the Muslims during the Muslim conquest forced Islam on the world. Right. That's why we have Arabs in Iran. We have Arabs in Morocco. We have Islam in Turkey. Saudi Arabia, right? This ain't even the original inhabitants of the land. The Arabs are not, right? The way that they got this land was through a Muslim conquest, right? We can prove it. History and archaeology, and with prophecy. It's in the Bible, right? Everything we gonna say is coming out of the Bible. We can prove that the prophecies of Daniel is American history. Right? So, this book right here, it's called American History. And I'm mad because I got it wet. So, well, this book is won't prove it. This book was copyrighted in 1930 by Charles Scribner's son. And this book is the first of a series of 4 written for the 7th and 8th year classes of the public schools of New York City. So, this American history, this book, American History, this is a copy. My brother right here, Alvor, has an original copy of this book, which is in an offshore account that the FBI, CIA is not going to be able to get their hands to take it from us.
Right.
So we made copies. And we sent a bunch of copies to these offshore accounts in Switzerland and all that. So no matter what, you ain't going to be able to take this, right? Because this book here, we've looked for this book because I wanted to buy it so I don't have to destroy this book that he got inherited from his grandfather. Our got this book inherited from his grandfather, and as we, I caught me and our he had a different kind of interest on this book right here. And reading this book, American History, Beginnings in Europe and America, this proves the prophecy of Daniel in Daniel 2 and Daniel 7, particularly Daniel 7, because Daniel 2 will only prophesy up to the 10 European unions, which would be the 10 tools. Daniel 7 shows the little horn that plucked up 3 horns of these 10 horns, which are the 10 countries of the European Economic Union, which was risen up after the rise of the Roman Empire, after the Renaissance of the Roman Empire. So we're going to get into this. Let's go to Daniel 7. You know what? Let me first deal with something. I didn't bookmark this. You know what I mean? I just am studying this. I didn't really bookmark it. I don't got a real breakdown for this. I've been studying, and we just gonna correlate it. We're gonna freestyle this thing. Lord willing, it's the perfection. If not, we're gonna do this again. It's just a warm-up. But we want to bring this to your attention, and we're gonna break the original copy. You just had it on. All right. But that's good though, because we would be using these all breaking up. So in this book, we're going to find the origins. This is going to be the origins of America. The origins of America, we can prove to line up with Daniel 7. Now, the book of Daniel was written during the Babylonian Empire. This was before the Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, the fall of Rome, the rise of Rome, right? All the way to America. Daniel prophesied this in the Babylonian captivity. So, coming into this book, we'll see that they'll say that the Egyptians are the first civilized civilization that was on the earth. Some would argue that it's the Sumerians, right? So you got this book here saying the first civilization is the Roman Empire, then we could go back and figure which one is Sumerians. The first civilization we don't care about. We don't care about the earliest people on this earth. We don't care about the earliest literature, right? We don't care about none of the first people on this earth. That's not our concern. Our concern is who we are, who Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are. And we're not Christian, we're not Muslims, man. We are the Israelites who God made a covenant with. God made a covenant with the Israelites. God made a covenant with Abraham, who promised to have this covenant go down to his seeds. And the seeds was Isaac and Jacob. Ishmael had nothing to do with this, man. And Esau had nothing to do with this. And we can prove, and we will prove that these are the children of Esau, right? It's easy to prove, man. They're Alexander the Great's counterparts. So, like we just showed, it's going to say that the earliest civilization is the Egyptian. Bring it out.
This is 2nd Ezra 3 and 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the evil.
Right, Israel by name. the Israelites, not the land, but the people of Israel, the original inhabitants of Israel, the original people that took the land of Israel are the Israelites, man. Israel by name kept, what it says?
It says, Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Right? The heathen would be Ishmael, Esau. It would be Esau, Ishmael, Ammon, Moab, all these other nations, man. The Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indians, the Bangladesh, the Arabs, the Africans, the South Africans, the East Africans, the Ethiopians, right? All these nations are the heathen. All these nations are the heathen, and the Most High said, Israel has kept thy precepts. So no other nation will understand this book. According to the Quran, no other nation will understand these scriptures according to the Quran and according to the Bible. Let me get Psalms 149:19. I think it's 147. We like you too, sis. We like you too. We like you too, sis. What you love about us? Psalms 147. Yeah, we
Psalms 147 and 19.
Go ahead.
Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob,
Right, the Most High shows his word unto Jacob.
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right, the Most High shows his word, his statutes, and his judgments unto Israel, and we prove that Israel by name is the only ones who kept the precepts and not the heathen. Keep on.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
Right, the Most High didn't deal with the heathen on this level. Keep on.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Right,
Praise ye the Lord.
right? The judgments come within the statutes.
Right.
No other nation knows these judgments, like you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right, standing here, the white man, woman, every nation is walking up, smiling at us, man. Right, but it's not. It's about to change, man. Their smile about to turn upside down.
Right.
Right. So let me get source 46. Surah 46 and 16. He brought it out, but bring it out in the opportunity. So that when it's scoffers, I'll be like, that's some business. Right, this Surah 46 and 16, 15 in the unknown Quran. It's like, it's going from right to left. I got too much going on here. Right, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man. The Bible said that only the Israelites will understand the scriptures, man. Only the Israelites have a covenant made with the Most High God. That's it. We're going to prove. We just proved that in the Bible. We're going to prove it in the Quran right now. 46 and 15. Or 45 and 16. All right, so it's 45 and 16. So. All right, watch this. Bring it up.
Surah 45, verse 16.
Right, we do not condone to the Quran, by the way. Right, we don't give a damn about this Quran, but we're going to show that the Quran actually confirms what we're teaching. Bring it out.
And indeed, he gave the children of Israel the scripture.
Right, the Quran is saying that they gave the children of Israel. Allah gave the children of Israel the scripture. Keep going.
And the understanding of the scripture.
Right, the children of Israel has the scripture and the understanding of the scripture. So now we have to understand who the children of Israel are. Right? Who are the children of Israel? Our people think that it's really the white man with the curls, right? Keep going.
And its law.
Right?
And the prophethood.
And its laws, right? So the children of Israel are the only ones who kept thy precepts and thy prophethood. This is the Quran. The Quran is telling us that the children of Israel was given the scripture, the understanding of the scripture, the laws, and the prophethood. So we would have to challenge to see if Muhammad was an Israelite. Because according to the Quran, the children of Israel was given the scripture, the understanding of the scripture, the laws, and the prophethood. So Are the Muslims Israelites? No, they are Ishmaelites, right? Muhammad is an Ishmaelite. So if the children of Israel was given a prophethood, then you would have to show me where Muhammad made a prophecy for you to be calling him a prophet and for you to be idolizing this pedophile. Right? Right? Because we dig in this thing, man. We dig in the Quran, we dig in the Hadith, we dig in everything you think you believe in, because none of y'all really believe in it. Right? Right? That's the thing. It's why are you following Islam or why are you following Christianity? Is it because you love God? Is it because you're seeking God? Are you filling up this masjid? No, is you filling up this Christian church because you want to gain the understanding of God? Or is it for some type of protection? What is it really for? Because if you're seeking God, you're not going to find it in this Quran. Right? You're not going to find God in this Quran. Because the God that this Quran serves is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that God is documented in the Holy Bible. Right? Right? This Bible goes into depth about the events, about the genealogy, about the prophecies of the Most High God. This Quran is just reciting it. So it's a telephone thing. I said this, he tells him what I said, he tells him what I said, it comes back around, and all of a sudden, we got a virgin giving birth by a spirit. So now Joseph is a spiritual father. He's a physical spiritual father. If the spirit is just a spiritual, he can't be physical. But he physically laid semen inside of a woman which created a birth. It don't make sense, right? How can something spiritual that can't do nothing physical do something physical like lay semen into a woman? Because semen is the only thing that gives birth to a child. That actually creates a child. The woman doesn't have the life. It's the man has the life in the semen. So how is it that Christianity could teach that a Holy Spirit just had Mary pregnant? Why?
They all the spirit got Mary pregnant. That gives them an excuse to not be able to, so they can say he can't do all wrong because Christ was able to do it. He was only able to do it because it was a spirit and not flesh. They try to use it as an excuse.
That's a crack. That's a swift. That was a swift juke move, right? But for Islam to teach that Mary had Jesus through a virgin birth, then what's the problem with thinking that he's God? Why? For real, we could just dig on that, right? If Muslims don't believe that, if Muslims believe that Mary got impregnated by a spirit, just magic. It was magic. It was magic, right? It was a miracle that Christ was born. He was just formed inside of his mother's womb. And Joseph just sucked it up. It's like, yes, I believe they would have to say, like, he was Adam listening to Eve or something, right? And he said, I'm going to take care of the child. The father of the child, we're not going to stone you to death for adultery, right? But Joseph being a just man, right? So if this virgin got pregnant by a Holy Spirit, and Christianity teaches that that spirit was the spirit of God that came into the flesh of Jesus, I gotta hear this. Right? I gotta hear your Eva's rebuttal. We don't teach virgin birth. They be cutting Christians on a virgin. Well, they don't cut them on a virgin birth. They cut the Christians that Christ is God. Right? But if you're saying that Christ is not God, then how was he born out of no man? Right? Show me any time in history that ever happened. For you to say I believe in that, because we've seen this happen in history. So, Daniel 7, first, let's deal with this. And what made Christ more powerful than Muhammad? But they don't follow Christ, they follow Muhammad. The Quran calls Christ the Messiah. Somehow Christ was the second to last prophet. So this book is going to talk about, I need somewhere. All right, so This is American History, Part 1, Beginnings in Europe and America, a book written in 1930s that was given to 7th and 8th graders in the elementary schools of New York City. So, all right, read these highlighted parts. This is page 28. You're not going to find this book. This book is not to be found. You can go on eBay and find volume 3, but you will not find volume 1. All praise to the Most High that we got our hands on this thing. Read out.
American beginnings in Europe.
The first civilized people.
The first civilized people. The Egyptian Empire was destroyed by conquerors from Asia.
Uh-huh.
Later, Egypt was conquered by the Greeks and then by the Romans.
So later on, Egypt was conquered by the Greeks and the Romans. We can prove that with first Maccabees, second Maccabees. Keep on.
Though the empire of the pharaohs passed away, the inventions and discoveries that were first made in ancient Egypt were not all lost.
Right? All the discoveries that was found in Egypt wasn't all lost. Even till this day, we have findings in Egypt that we can find today. But you so-called Negroes and Latinos are not Egyptians. Right? The Most High didn't choose the Egyptians. He didn't make a covenant with the Egyptians. But we can prove that the so-called blacks and Hispanics are under the covenant of the Most High God. Keep on.
Some were learned by people in Asia Minor and Greece. By them, they were handed down to other nations in Europe.
This is my word. It's my word. It's not yours. All right. So keep going.
Ancient civilizations in Asia Minor. In Babylonia.
So now we went from Egypt to Babylon. So what we got in our captivities that we can prove in the Bible, not only in the Bible, but in American history. We got 7 major captivities. We got the Egyptian captivity. We got the Assyrian captivity. We got the Babylonian captivity. We got the Persian Mede captivity. We got the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, and the rise of Rome, Roman 2.0. Right? So we just went through Egypt. Now we're talking about Babylon. Right, which we can prove in the Bible. These are the nations that was in rulership in sequential order. Right, so bring it up.
In Babylonia, as the lower valley of the Tigris and Euphrates River was called, there rose another ancient civilization.
Right, in Babylonia, there rose another ancient civilization, which would be the Babylonians and Nebuchadnezzar. Keep going. Only highlight.
The Babylonians surpassed the Egyptians in arithmetic, geometry, and astronomy. They divided the day into 24 hours.
Right, so the Babylonians are the ones who divided our day into 24 hours.
And counted minutes and seconds.
Right.
Their empire was destroyed by the Assyrians.
Right, it said that their empire was destroyed by the Assyrians. Keep going. So we see the Assyrians coming in. So the Babylonians ended up later on coming and conquering the Assyrians. But there was a time when the Assyrians and the Babylonians was going at it while we was in the land, right? Keep going.
The Phoenicians who lived on the Mediterranean shore of Asia Minor were the greatest traders of these times.
Right, the Phoenicians would be the Canaanites, the Chaldeans. No, it would be the Canaanites. The Chaldeans are the Babylonians. So the Canaanites of Phoenicia was the greatest traders. Why? Because they had a navy, right? The Canaanites had a navy. They was sailing the Mediterranean Sea all the way to Tarshish, which would be in between Spain and Morocco. And from Spain and Morocco, they would be sailing to America. The so-called Africans or the Canaanites was the first people to be here in the land of America. This is where the Egyptians, this is why you find cocaine in the system of Egyptians. Cocaine is only found in South America, but somehow we see wrapped up mummies having traces of cocaine in their system. And cocaine is only found in South America. So how did it get all the way over there in that time? It's because these Canaanites was traveling. These Canaanites in the Tarshish was traveling over here to America, getting all type of exotic animals, all type of exotic goods, and Ophir and gold. Right, keep going.
They founded commercial cities in Africa.
Right. So All right, so it says they founded commercial cities in Africa.
Brought them from Britain and ivory from Africa.
Huh?
The alphabet which they used was adopted by many other nations.
Right? The Phoenician alphabet was adopted by many nations,
Especially the Greeks.
especially the Greeks. The Greeks took this. What's up, man? The Greeks took this Phoenician alphabet. Keep on.
From this alphabet, our own is derived.
Right? Our own. The American alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, is derived from the Phoenician alphabet. A, Ba, Ga, Da, all these Hebrew words, right? All languages came out of Phoenicia. Every language and every alphabet we see today comes from the Hebrew language, right? Right? Even Arabic, right? Keep on.
The early Hebrews were wandering shepherds in the Arabian desert.
Right?
The first of these was Abraham.
Right? The first of these Hebrews was Abraham. Abraham wasn't Arabic. Abraham was a Hebrew. Right? So why are you yelling in Arabic when the Most High wasn't dealing with Arabic? The Most High was dealing with the language of Hebrew. Right? Keep going.
Among Abraham's descendants were Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph.
Right? Among his descendants, even American history didn't have Ishmael. Keep going.
About 1200 BC, a great Hebrew leader, Moses, led the Hebrews out of Egypt.
Right? So now, we're not reading the Bible. We're reading American history. American history is talking about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Keep going.
And after many years of wandering in the wilderness, they finally made their home in Palestine.
They finally made their home in Palestine after wandering in the wilderness, Palestine being the land of Israel today. Keep going.
A small country just south of Phoenicia and on the shores of the Mediterranean.
Right? Keep on.
They wrote the finest and noblest religious literature which had yet been written, and which we know is the Old Testament.
Right? The Hebrew Israelites wrote the finest literature as we know today to be the Old Testament. Keep on.
While people living near them worship idols of wood and stone.
While people living near them, the Assyrians, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Arabs, the Greeks, the Romans, these other nations living near them worship other gods like wood and stone. Keep on.
And the Egyptians and Babylonians believed in many gods and spirits.
Right?
The Hebrews were the first people to teach of one God.
Right? The Hebrew Israelites was the first people ever to teach the oneness of God, to teach monotheism. But for some reason, we got black and brown filling up this Islamic church, man. Right? They were polytheists. The Arabs were polytheists. They got their monotheism from the Hebrews. Abraham was a Hebrew. You ain't never seen Abraham speaking no Arabic. So if y'all want to find out the ways of your ancestors, y'all following these Abrahams ain't that, man. Y'all following these Arabs got you going all the way left. You ain't going in the right direction, right? Keep going.
Who was just and kind, and who required justice and kindness of men.
Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man, y'all Hebrew Israelites, y'all ain't Muslims, man. Y'all not Arabs. The Arabs created Islam because the Arabs were polytheists. They were not monotheists. The first monotheists on this earth was the Hebrew Israelites. They were the only people on earth practicing the oneness of God. Muhammad spoke to an Israelite. He said, you know, we're going to change the program. Right? We're going to change the program from worshiping 360 gods, shooting arrows at the Kaaba stone to idols, and whichever way that arrow fell was the answer to their question. They stopped that. Muhammad forced them to stop that with the sword. Muhammad was killing people and forcing them to Islam, which says a servant of oneness of God. But for some reason, Muhammad was enslaving the Israelites. It don't make sense, man. But that's because that's not for you. The Most High gives his delusions to whoever he want to give it to, and the Arabs and Ishmael had a delusion. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob can't be the God of Ishmael because Ishmael was serving multiple gods. So keep on.
Under their king, David, Jerusalem became the capital of a Hebrew kingdom. And there Solomon, David's son, built a great temple.
Right.
The Hebrews struggled bravely against the growing power of the great Assyrian Empire.
Right, they was fighting against the Assyrian Empire, who later the northern kingdom fell into captivity to. Keep on.
Later, the Chaldeans conquered them.
Right, later the Chaldeans or the Babylonians conquered the Assyrians,
conquered them and carried them into exile in Babylon.
right?
When the Persians conquered the Chaldeans, the Hebrews returned to Palestine.
Right, when the Persians, right, conquered the Chaldeans, the Hebrews returned back to the land. So you had the Babylonian captivity, you had Nebuchadnezzar and his grandson was in rulership. Then you had the Persian, who was Cyrus, who went and who killed Nebuchadnezzar's grandson and took the power from him. This is documented not only in prophecy in the Bible, which we're going to prove, but this is documented in the history of America.
Right.
The history of America is based around Hebrew Israelites, man. Right. This is the beginning of the book. This is only page 32. Keep going.
Later, their land became a province of the great Roman Empire.
Right. Later, the land of Israel became the province of the great Roman Empire, which happened during the times of Pontius, right? Which happened during the times when Christ got crucified on the cross. This is when the Romans made Israel a province, right? And this is American history, sis. This ain't even the Bible we read, right? And they say, show me the Bible without the Bible. How about we just show you your school curriculum given to you by the white man, right? Keep on.
In the course of years, most of the Hebrews scattered and settled in many parts of Europe.
Right? And what it say? In the course of years,
most of the Hebrews scattered and settled in many parts of Europe.
Right? They scattered and settled in many parts of Europe and Wales.
And later in America.
Where the Hebrews later scattered to?
And later in America.
Let me see this again. Right? This is American history. This is American history letting us know that the Hebrew Israelites were scattered and they were later found here. All praise to the Most High. Where you from, Puerto Rico? You know, Puerto Rico was conquered by the Spaniards. So, how many gods is there? But you know, Jesus is the Son of God, right? So how can you be God? That's what the Bible teaches. So what you believe? What you believe in the Bible? There is a God. But God creates. He created the earth. He also created his son. Go to watch this. Go to Daniel 7 and 13. Watch this. Because Christ can't be God.
And 7 and 13. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man.
Who was the one like unto the Son of Man? Who's the Son of Man? Christ, right? Jesus Christ will be the Son of Man. So we see in the night visions, Daniel saying one like unto the Son of Man. This is the Old Testament, right? Keep on.
Came with the clouds of heaven.
So Christ came with the clouds of heaven, like how we see from heaven in Revelation. Keep on.
And came to the Ancient of Days.
So he came to the Ancient of Days, who is the Most High God. So if there was a vision, and we seen Christ in the heavens, so he's not because Christ, they say, is God in the flesh. So the Spirit of God is in Christ in the flesh. But here Christ is in the flesh. Christ is in the spirit. So there's a vision of Christ in the spirit on clouds going to God. Right? Keep going.
And there was given him.
So there was given Christ. So Christ was God who is giving him
dominion.
Who's giving Christ dominion. Keep going.
And glory.
And glory.
And a kingdom
that all people, nations, and language should serve him.
Right? All people, nations, and languages going to serve Christ in this kingdom, but this power was given to him. So if he's the Most High God, how is he giving himself this power? Or who is it that's giving him this power? Right? Do you know? This is the Bible. Say the Bible, right? And we also say God rather than man. Well, if the Bible tells us, it's not that nobody knows, it's just our people are ignorant, right? They have a lack of knowledge, right? They don't actually read the Bible. They actually read the Bible, see that there's a separation between God and Jesus. Bring it up.
This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
So the head of every man is Christ.
and the head of the woman is the
And
man,
according to the Bible, the head to you, since would be your husband.
and the head of Christ is God.
So if Christ is God, then how does he have someone else? Right? God asks himself these things because Christ, go to Acts 7, go to that. Right. Go ahead. Yeah.
This is Revelation 3:11. It says, him that overcometh, Salakia, Revelation 3:12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
This is red letters. So Christ said, whoever overcomes, he's going to what?
Whoever overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
So who's Christ God? That's Christ out of his own house, saying, my God. Right? Keep going.
And he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my name.
So, no, this is Christ talking about God. Red letters.
Christ said,
7:55. That's 7:55. We study the Bible, we teach about it. We come out here to teach about it. But today what we're doing is we got American history textbook from 1930 that was a textbook for the New York public schools. This textbook is telling us the exact thing the Bible is telling us. The prophecies of Daniel that we bring out is lining right up with this history and archaeology. NLT. Well, go to lesson teaching. Lesson teaching. Watch it. Watch it. Go to Acts 8. Why isn't it hard? Because there's things that was written thousands of years ago that said what happened today is happening today. This is the only book on the earth that actually made prophecy that came back. Right? So watch this.
Acts 8:30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understandest thou what thou readest?
Right? Do you understand what you're reading? Like you said, it's hard for you to understand. Right? Keep going.
And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
Let somebody guide us. That's how we can understand this. So the way how so much wisdom and understanding came onto this earth is because somebody read the Bible. They read from the beginning. The beginning of the Bible tells us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And it tells us what's going to happen if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So there's blessings for keeping it and curses for not keeping it. Now, we can prove going through the curses that the Bible promised that the children of Israel would be going through. would be so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called blacks, Dominicans, Cubans, Colombians, Jamaicans, Haitians, like all these black Hispanic and Native people. You can prove that we are the children of Israel because God promised that this will what we will be doing. Yeah. They actually praise God. Like Christmas. When you celebrate Christmas, you're worshiping God. Yeah, Thanksgiving. You celebrate. No, that's well, eating is a sacrifice. It's the worshiping of God. You cooking that turkey is the sacrifice of our slaughter of the nation. Right? This is so why we can't do it? Why we got to why we can't do it? Why it's religious. Religiously, we celebrate these days that the white man gave us, not knowing that these white people today are the same Romans or the same Greeks. And these same Romans and Greeks got all these guys from Egypt. You know what I mean? That's why they focus homosexuality, because the first time we see homosexuality, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was look, so I just gotta show you. It's just odd. Yeah, but I'm gonna show you something. I got. I want to show you a couple things, sis. But this right here is very. Like I'm just saying. I feel like she funny. No, I'm just saying. No, you telling me no? I feel like I'm not doing it. You mind hearing a couple things? You mind hearing a couple more things? A couple more things? All right, bring this out.
Jeremiah 17:4.
All right, so y'all your Deuteronomy 28:5. Keep on.
Jeremiah 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
All right, so the Most High prophesying that he was going to discontinue from our heritage. What's our heritage? Our identity, our natural resources, our ancestors, right? Our traditions and customs. Keep on.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So keep on.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
So the Israelites would lose their identity, lose their heritage, because we made the Most High evil. How do we make the Most High evil? Look at the You gotta know what we did in the game, so we know we gotta fix it. So what we did was we got hits. We got hits. So I had children. I told my children, this is rules of the house. You know, we send the house, we have boys over, right? Can't go send up until 12 o'clock. If they break those rules, they get punished. So the Most High gave the the Israelites a set of rules. These rules is to keep the commandments. The commandments are instructions for us how to live. So once we break these commandments, this is how we be the Most High angry, just like our children disobey. So right. So bring it up.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now there's going to be a people on this earth that's cursed. Now there's nobody on this earth keeps the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Nobody keeps the law, statutes, and commandments. Nobody, not even the Jewish man. The Jewish in the land of Israel right now, they have the biggest gate rate. And according to God, that's an abomination. God said stone them, right? So bring that up.
Cursed shall thou be in the city,
So okay.
cursed shall thou be in the field.
Right, so the Israelites are going to be cursed in the city, and the Israelites are going to be cursed in the field. What people do we see cursed in the city, cursed in the field? All right, you see who's getting gunned down in the streets in the city, who's on the corners destroying the community, selling drink, selling fentanyl, selling heroin, cocaine, crack, weed, right? Weed mixed with cocaine, fentanyl. Keep going. Cursing the field, cursing the field. Who was picking sugar cane? Dino Indians was picking sugar cane. Who was picking tobacco? Who was picking cotton? Right, these are the people that was cursing the city, cursing the field, right? Keep going.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, right? Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy
So
God,
that's the reason why we curse, because we some God keep on,
to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee this day.
right?
And they, the curses, shall be upon thee for a
So
sign.
the curses is going to be upon us for a sign, because we're going to lose our heritage. We're not going to go back. So these curses are going to be a sign to identify who the Israelites are. How do we know this 15th article is a sign? How do we know the citizens think is a sign? It's not that it's be a building, this is just be a street. So these curses will identify a people, all the people on this earth. These curses will let you know who these children of Israel are. Keep going.
And for a wonder,
Wondering why we going through these things.
and upon thy seed forever,
As long as you're not keeping the commandments.
because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Right? Nobody want to keep the commandments. They said commandments is too hard. There's only over 600 commandments, 613 commandments, and we can't even keep them all. I see you made that face, but there's over 2,500 commandments, laws in America. You're not in jail. You're not in jail, so keep them laws. We find it hard to keep the laws of God. The laws of God is don't be pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, right? Don't treat our women like whores. Don't kill our brothers. If you have to do something, you got to be there for them. If you need $100, you got to get $100 and not ask for 125 back. Just get the $100 back whenever you got it. And if you don't ever got it, then I just got to take the chin and give them 7 times and get them for it in the most out lesson. Right? These are how we take care of each other. Right? We got to teach our children these commandments. We got to raise them in the right way.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy,
Right?
which the Lord shall send against thee.
So we got to think about who's the people serving the enemies in this earth today. What people came over here against their will or gave up the land against their will, right? Because every other nation came over here on their own will. The East Indians, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, the white, they come over here on their own will. But we're trapped here against our will. This land is stolen from us against our will. And his ancestors came over here against his will, right? So it said that we serve it and our enemies, keep going,
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger,
so the same people that great Robert enslaved us, we gotta go to the food
and in thirst,
and for water. We can't grow our own food, or we can't go collect rainwater. It's a federal crime to collect rainwater in some states. Keep going.
and in nakedness,
And for clothing, for each and every. That is our people's clothing store, right? Keep going.
and in want of all things.
So we gotta go to the same people that great Robert us for food, water, clothing, housing, education. We need permission to drive. We need permission to hunt. We need permission to fish. We need a death certificate to be dead. But we need to go and get that by the system, which is controlled by the Caucasian and white. Right? Keep going.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
You ever seen the apocalypse? What happened?
See that?
It was Christopher Columbus came with all This the Most High. He put on spirit on us because He's revealing something. Only you know what you was thinking about. My bad, sis. Only you know what you was going through and what's on your mind. We don't know what's going on, but the Most High knows. It's only through the Spirit that the Most High God is bringing out this precept. Right? Keep going.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So the same people that raped our murder and slave, that's all that we go to for the one of all things, put an iron chain on our necks that slave to slave. That happened to us, the Native Indians, and it happened to so-called Western Africans. Keep going.
And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
All right, who came from far? We over here in America, you had the French, the British, and the Spaniards that came from far. The reason why we speak English is because of the British, the colonizers. The reason why we speak Spanish is because of the Spain. And guess where Spanish comes from? Rome. Latin is originated in Rome. But the Romans colonized the known world. So now everybody is speaking some type of Latin. And the French came over here and colonized the Brazilians, the Haitians, and Jamaicans, and got them speaking Portuguese and French and Creole. Keep going. That's all slave masters' languages. And all of us have our slave masters' last name. Him, the so-called blacks, I mean, like Johnson, Jackson, we got like Rivera, Gonzalez. These are all slave masters. And the French got names like Pierre and things. They are very well because
Yeah.
your last name there. Something going on here, but my last name is there.
It said from far, from one end of the earth,
All right, so these nations came far from one to the earth.
as swift as the eagle flyeth.
Who represents the eagle? The eagle is a predatory bird. Of all the fowls, the eagle is on the top of the food chain. America idolizes this eagle on the top of their flag. When you look at the Spaniards flag, in the Spaniards flag is an eagle, right? When you look at the Commonwealth, you have an eagle inside, right? Keep going.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
We didn't understand Spanish. We didn't understand French or English. Actually, Christopher Columbus brought over a Hebrew interpreter whose name was, I forgot his name, but you look it up, it's in Christopher Columbus' journal. Where it shows that the 10 tribes of Israel came was to archery. You find that in the 1400 books that the Christian Protestant church took out the Bible. This Bible contains 66 books that we have today. But the original King James Version Bible, the 1611 King James, contains all 80 books, which includes the Apocrypha. In the Apocrypha, it lets you know where the 10 tribes of Israel, which would be archery, and Christopher Columbus confirming that their land of archery is America. He brought a Hebrew interpreter. I forgot. I know some coming. Keep going.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
If we kept the law, statutes, and commandments, like I told you, we can't treat our boys, we got to each other, we got to take care of each other. We shouldn't do a man in our nation if we kept the law, statutes, and commandments. So we do something tender and loving towards one another, even in pouting. 24 and 34. So back in the time with my grandmother, when I was living with my grandmother when I was a child, she'll either go wild over everybody when you football from the house or something. And you can't do that. You know what I mean? Because we're not. I don't see that because we've grown to be more wicked.
True.
Well, what they did is they want to see how much they can control. The Bible prophesied that there's plagues that's going to come, even different from the plagues of Egypt. All the plagues of Egypt is going to come, even those that wasn't right. So keep on.
It says, the man that is tender among you is very delicate. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
So we used to love each other, but now we got to keep alive to each other. So do you see blacks and Hispanics killing China? What about white people? Asian? Eastern, Arabs? What they kill? Each other. It said that we just want to have people out to each other. So I'm gonna tell you that the Chinese ain't killing the Chinese. They're like, yeah, China ain't killing the Chinese. In China, they have the lowest homicide rate in everything. The Arabs aren't killing each other. Right? Nobody's killing each other, only us. So God said that these are going to be the signs and wonders to let you know who the Israelites are. And one of these things is another nation coming from far, whose nation will understand us serving for the one of all things, and us over here killing each other. People
says, and toward the wife of his bosom.
right? Our people don't love our women. Like they'll share with them in the black and brown community. Right? They feed on them and things like that. But when they get a Chinese girl right there, they treat her like some type of truth. Yeah, I mean, when our women is the best woman on truth, cook better, dance better, fight better, everything we do is just better. Right? Keep going.
And it's like an and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
So we're gonna be killing each other. We're gonna have a history, a record of domestic violence, and we're gonna have fatherless households. So by just that alone, right? Who's killing each other? Who's treating their own women like shit? Because the Arabs love their Chinese love their and a woman respect the father. Right?
Fuck out of here.
Right? So you see us killing each other, us beating our women, and have fatherless households. The black and brown community, on the statistics, we are the highest people that have these kind of stats, right? Of gun violence towards each other, fatherless households, and domestic violence. Keep going.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other.
How did this happen? Keep going.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So we were scattered. How was it scattered? Through the transatlantic slave trade, through history, in archaeology. We can prove that Native Indians and so-called blacks were sold to every nation on earth on auction blocks. We were considered a property and not a people, right? And then it says that we were serving other gods that our fathers never knew, which were the stone. Now, when you go to the Christian church, what you bow down to? The bloody cross, or the white man name, right? When you go to the Imam, when you go to the masjid, the Muslims, what do they want to go at least one time in their lifetime in order to be a Christian Muslim? They want to go to Mecca. They got a mini Kaaba. That's crazy. So they bow down to the stone every time they go to masjid. Christianity and Islam being the two major religions of the earth. But the Bible teaches that this will be a narrow path. Yes. It's scary. It's an object. And they pray for our family. So these our people pray to the gravestones, right? They go to their grandma's gravesite, pray grandma, watch them, they're dead. There's nothing they can do, but our people don't pray to God. And God said he's a jealous God. Don't pray to nobody but us. But we got people thinking that Jesus is God. And Jesus. And they have this image. They have this image that that's how Jesus looks. But according to the Bible, he's a black man with feet of iron, bronze, and the furnace with wood hair. And the teachers and prophets of the Bible was called niggas in the Bible.
This is Acts 17 and 24. It says, God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made of hands.
You don't dwell in churches. The Bible teaches that wisdom cries out in the streets. He said, go to the highways and hedges. Christ said, go to the highways and hedges and bid into the marriage. I mean, the marriage is coming back to the law statutes. Because Israel and Judah are the two brides of God. Right? God has two wives. Right? So it doesn't teach to be hidden in some type of building asking for a collection. We don't do that. Right? Bring it up.
Luke 14 and 23. And the Lord said, and the Lord said unto the third, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
That's what we're doing. So we're doing with you. We're not forcing this on nobody. Christianity is forced on us. Islam is forced on us through murder. We're not out here doing this. We out here planting seeds on our people. All willing, it grows. But let me show you. Go to Acts 13. I know that you probably got to go. I know I see me see. But
This is Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
so now we can look at it says now there were a church that was in certain prophecies, Barnabas and Simeon that was called. You're gonna see it's NIGR. You're gonna say that's Niger. That's this. Pull it up. It's fine. So look. So it's the same thing. Church that was at certain prophecies, Barnabas and Simeon was called NIGR. So they'll say that's Niger, right? So people go into it because this book is written exceptionally Greek. Certain at Antioch, church prophets and teachers, Barnabas and Simeon was called. You go there. This is the Greek. Free the bread, they call it. Look. So you see this word, Niger, or see it.
G 3526. Niger. Niger.
See the definition of black. And like it shows you, see, it's called black. So here it's called black. So who was these people called? These were the Romans, the white people. The first time we see a black man being called a nigger is in the right. And guess what? It's called this Negro. The Native Indians were the first people that was called Negro. Because if you was darker than the brown people back, it was called Negro. They're scared of us, and that's why they get divided and conquered, right? Because we divide black and brown, right? And then we're fighting each other. Yeah, they fight.
They understand that all the kids we don't have
Where you from? His name is Javante Davis.
oh no.
Tank Davis.
Wait,
See, you got our birds? All right. You seen them on the QR codes?
I got a surprise.
All right, all praise. And our number on there. Call if you got any questions, sir. All right, all praise of the Most High. All praise of the Most High.
Praise.
Right? Like Spanish Native Indians, man, it's time to wake up.
Right.
It's the fall of the European Caucasian white man. No. This is the fall of America. What's up, King? Right? We is in the times of the fall of the white man's power, man. Hey, all praise to the Most High. You black man ain't gonna be walking with a white man soon. Cause he's gonna be lynching you again. You're gonna be a slave again. And it's gonna be a time when they're gonna be using their power against us, right? He's spoken hellfire. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Hebrew Israelites. We can prove that with prophecy, history, and archaeology. And these fake Jewish people ain't the real Jews. Right? Right? And the only people that got red hair is the European Caucasian white man. I ain't seen no Arab with no red hair, man. So that just leads me to believe that Muhammad was a white man. Right? We could debate that. Right? We could definitely debate that Muhammad was a pedophile. He wasn't a prophet. We ain't out here to hurt nobody, get your feelings, man. So, that was a beautiful follow. We had a brother and sister with a good spirit. Now, let's go back to the origins of America. Uh-oh. So let's go to Daniel 7. Let's go to Daniel 7 because in the origins of America, we show that according to American textbook, this is a textbook, this is a copy of the textbook from 1930 that was for 7th and 8th grade public school system in New York City. We can't find this book anywhere else, so we have copies of it. The only book that we found, because this is one of 4 volumes, only volume 3 we can find. We can't find volume 1. And volume 1 contains the origins. So this is origins in the 7A. When we read, it's showing us that written the 7th and 8th year class for the public schools in New York City. It shows here that this was published in 1930. Right? So this is far back as we can get. This is before the Belfort Declaration. Right? Right? So not only did we show this, not only did we show, but it said Hebrews returned to Palestine. Later, their land became a province of the great Roman Empire, which had been founded in the Christians, 1st century AD. In the course of years, most of the Hebrews scattered and settled in many parts of Europe and later in America. This is when you don't want us to read the Bible, but to teach you the Bible without the Bible, we can just go to American history. See, back then they was Proud Boys. I mean, they had no problem throwing the truth in your face because they conquered shit. Right? I took this shit. You know what I mean? Man, you can do. You're a slave man. Right now, they want you to be comfortable and make you believe that slavery was some type of school system. Right? They taught you training. It was a trade school. Right? And now you learn how to be hands-on by being slaves. So let's continue. It's a lot. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna read. Let's read the Daniel 7.
Daniel 7 on the top in the NLT. Earlier during the first year of King Belshazzar,
right? Belshazzar is the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar.
Reigned in Babylon. Daniel had a dream and saw visions as he lay in his bed.
Right, so Daniel had visions as he lay in his bed. Mind you, this was in the Babylonian captivity. Right? So let's go. Let me get the date. Because the Babylonian captivity was only 7 years. So about 597 BC. Okay. So the Babylonian captivity was about 597 and 587 BC, right? And it ended with the conquest of Babylon by the Persian king Cyrus the Great in 538 BC. So we see the Babylonians lost their power in 538 BC. So right now, Daniel is in the Babylonian captivity. This is before anybody else conquered anything. We had the Egyptian and the Assyrian captivity that came to pass. He's living in the Babylonian captivity right now. He's going to prophesy from that time all the way into the kingdom of heaven. So bring it up.
He wrote down the dreams, and this is what he saw. In my vision that night, I, Daniel, saw a great storm churning the surface of a great sea, with strong winds blowing from every direction. Then 4 huge beasts came up out of the water.
each different from the others. The first beast was like a lion.
Right?
With-
So this lion, as we're going to later learn, is the Babylonians. Keep going.
with eagle's wings.
Right? These wings, these eagles' wings, are the Assyrians. Keep going.
As I watched, its wings were plucked off. And
So these wings were plucked off from the lion. So the reason why these wings got plucked off is because the Babylonians conquered the Assyrians and plucked them out of rulership. Right, keep going, which we just proved in American history. Keep going.
and it was left standing with its two hind feet on the ground,
Right, it got into a place of rulership. Keep going.
like a human being. And it was giving a human man mind. Salakia. And it was giving a human mind.
Right, and this would be Nebuchadnezzar. Keep going.
Then I saw a second beast, and it looked like a bear.
Right, so we had the first beast. This Daniel prophesying the times that he in all the way to the end of the world. So he prophesied Nebuchadnezzar in the Babylonian captivity. All of a sudden, here comes a bear. This bear is the Persians and Medes. Keep on.
It was rearing up on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth.
Right, the Medes had more power than the Persians. So this is why it was rearing more on one side. And these 3 ribs it had in its mouth were the Egyptians, the Libyans, and the Persians. Salakia, the Egyptians, Libyans, and the Babylonian Empire. This is who the Persians defeated in order for them to gain power. These are the 3 ribs in its mouth. Keep going. This is prophecy before it even happened. Right, keep going.
Had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And I heard a voice saying to it, "Get up, devour the flesh of many people."
Right, and the Persians devoured the flesh of many people. The Persians had one of the biggest armies. Right? This is where we see this movie 300 come, right? Started with Xerxes in power, right? With Cyrus in power, with Darius in power. The Persians had one of the most biggest empires in history. Keep going.
Then the third of these strange beasts appeared, and it looked like a leopard.
Right? Now, this leopard will be the Greek captivity. Just as we read through American history, when we read American history and we read the history of the Bible, you had the Babylonian captivity, then you had the Persian Mede captivity, and then you had this Greek captivity. Just coincidentally, this animal that's symbolizing the Greeks is a leopard, and coincidentally, we see Alexander the Great wearing leopard skin, right? As him showing his royalty, right? Keep on.
It had 4 bird wings on its back, and it had 4 heads. Great authority was given to this beast.
Right, the 4 heads are Alexander's 4 generals. That'd be Seleucus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Lysimachus. This is Alexander the Great's 4 generals. The 4 wings are the 4 provinces that the Greeks took over. That would be the north, south, east, and west. The Greeks took over the whole known world. After the Greeks took over the whole known world, the Romans came and took everything over that the Greeks took over. Right? Keep going.
Then in my vision that night, I saw a 4th beast, terrifying, dreadful, and very strong.
This 4th beast is the Romans. The Romans. Keep going.
It devoured and crushed its victims with huge iron teeth.
Why? Because the Romans was using iron swords. The Greeks was using like brass or bronze swords at the time. So these iron swords, when they clashed together with these brass swords, it would shatter the Greek swords. Right. So the Romans got its power from the steel and the iron that they was using. Keep going.
Iron teeth and trampled their remains beneath its feet.
Right.
It was different from any other beast, and it had 10 horns.
It was different from any other beast because the Romans was allowing anybody to join the Roman citizenship. Right? Anybody could join. All you got to do is fight with the Roman Empire. Right? All you got to do is put your life on the line for us in patriotism. Right? The Romans worship their gods through patriotism, just like how we see America doing today. But guess what? There's a lot of people losing their patriotism. And the Romans was killing the Christians because the Christians weren't fighting their army and they wouldn't worship their gods. Right. And the reason why they killed the Christians is because the Romans felt like if they're not worshiping our God, then we're going to fall. So just like how the Romans fell, we're going to see America fall.
Right.
Right? Keep going.
As I was looking at the horn, suddenly another small horn appeared among them. 3 of the first horns were torn out by the root.
You should, sir. All right, read that again. Sorry.
Then in my vision that night, I saw a fourth beast, terrifying, dreadful, and very strong. It devoured and crushed its victims with huge iron teeth and trampled their remains beneath its feet.
Right.
It was different from any other beast, and it had 10 horns.
And these 10 horns is the European Economic Union,
Right.
also known as the EU. Now, these 10 horns is going to consist of, I'm going to give it to you, Belgium. Now, now the Greeks took over these lands. The Greeks conquered these European lands. They conquered the whole Mediterranean coast, even North Africa. This is who the Greeks conquered. Right after the Greeks came the Romans. The Greeks conquered these Mediterranean Sea during the Persian captivity. Right? The Greeks was gaining power during the Persians, but they didn't get into power until Alexander the Great defeated the Persians. Right? So these 10 horns that was on this Roman beast, right, was Belgium, Netherlands, England, and Ireland is one being Britain. Spain and Portugal is one being Spain. West Germany, Luxembourg, Denmark, Italy, Greece, and France. All these are white European nations. Right? All of them. All in Europe. Right? This is who the Romans ended up conquering. And then these 10 horns, after the Romans fell, there was a Renaissance. When the Romans came back into power, these 10 horns helped them get back into power. These 10 horns are the ones who symbolize Rome, right? All this here. This is all Greek architecture. The Romans was living as simple people in the times of Italy, when they was living in Italy, when they was living in Rome. They were living as simple people. But when the Romans took over the Greeks, they started taking up their ways. They took up their alphabet. They took up their language. They took out their poetry, right? Because the Greeks built colosseums like this for theater. They was doing plays. The Greeks, the European Caucasian white man, was raising their kids. The mother would raise the kids and teach them about Hercules and teach them about Zeus. It made these kids want to be great people like them. Right? So by the time their kids got to of age, they would start training their kids to be soldiers. The Greeks, that's why they became so powerful. The Spartans and all that, right? Athens and Olympia, right? So the Greeks was taking their children, putting them in training. The Greeks would send their children to gymnasiums, right? These gymnasiums, these European Caucasian white people, they were having their kids ass naked, oiled up, ass naked, wrestling, boxing. Yes, boxing came from the Greeks. Boxing came from the Spartans. Man. The Olympics came from the Greeks. The Olympics. Every 4 years, they will hold the Olympics in Olympia. And now, every 4 years, we've seen them holding it in Europe and America. Now they hold it in Japan and all that. But in the 1930s, they wasn't doing it. So the reason why they held these Olympic sports was in honor of their gods. So the Olympics is in honor of the gods of the Greeks. Woo. Right? And we can prove that in American history. Right? Right? All we gotta do is read, man. So keep on.
That as I was looking at the horn, suddenly another small horn appeared among them.
Right? Another small horn appeared among these 10 horns. So that is an 11th horn. This small horn is America. This is Daniel prophesying America because this is the order of rulership. We had the Babylonians, we had the Persian Medes, we had the Greeks. After the Greeks, we had the Romans. After the Romans, the fall of Renaissance, the Muslim conquest. It was black during the Dark Ages. There was black rulers in Europe and Spain, right? Then we had the rise of Rome, the Renaissance. during the Renaissance, we had 10 European unions. These 10 European unions helped conquer America. But with these 10 European unions, this one horn plucked up. America had to pluck up in order for them to conquer it. So keep going.
Says, 3 of the first horns were torn out by the root to make room for it.
Right? So there was 3 horns plucked up to make room for this one horn. So this little horn plucked up 3 horns. According to history, archaeology, and according to prophecy, these 3 horns would be Britain, France, and Spain. Right? How did they pluck them up? What year did they pluck them up? Right? The French-American War happened in 1754. Right? The war with Britain happened in 1812, and the Spanish-American War happened in 1898. These are the 3 horns that the little horn plucked up. This is Daniel. This is the Bible prophesying. The Bible is emphatically real when it's not corrupted. Like the Muslims would say. The Muslims would say that the Bible is corrupted. But you can't prove whenever the Bible got corrupted, and you can't show me a corruption within the Bible. You're not going to show me. All you're going to do is because somebody else said it, right? Now you just believe it. That was sounded good, so now I'm going to follow this way. Right? That's what they do with Islam. That's what they do with Christianity. It just sounds good because they yell in Arabic in the middle of the street, right? So keep going.
This little horn had eyes like human eyes,
right?
And a mouth that was boasting arrogantly,
right? Or speaking great things, like I would say in KJV. This little horn was speaking great things. Coincidentally, we see America wanting to be great. How do they make America great? It's by making America white, right? Because America was never white. Right? America was filled with melanated people. But here go the European Caucasian stealing everything that he sees, right? Raping everything that he sees, right? Whether it's dead bodies, animals, or human beings. Live human beings. Why? Because they was practicing this shit in their gymnasiums, right? They was oiling their kids down. Right? Keep going.
I watched as thrones were put in place, and the ancient one sat down to judge.
Right, so we see there's only 5 captivities. We got the Babylonian captivity, the Persian Mede captivity, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, and there was going to be 10 horns that was going to have 1 horn pluck up. After this 1 horn plucking up 3 horns, this America plucking up French, Britain, and Spain, what happens? There was thrones set up, right? Keep going.
Right. It says, I watched as thrones were put in place, and the ancient one sat down to judge. His clothing was as white as snow, his hair like the purest wool. He sat on a fiery throne with wheels of blazing fire, and a river of fire was pouring out, flowing from his presence. Millions of angels ministered to him. Many millions stood to attend him. Then the court began in session, and the books were open.
Right? Keep going.
I continued to watch because I could hear the little horn boastful speech.
Right? The little horn, America's boastful speech. America's a virgin. America never got touched by any. Right? You say the Pearl Harbor, America got bombed, but that's something small. Right? America is the virgin daughter of Babylon, and America's about to get destroyed. Right? Keep going.
I kept watching until the 4th beast was killed and his body was destroyed by fire.
Right? This 4th beast is going to be killed with the 10 horns and the little horn, and they're going to get destroyed by fire. This is all the rulers of Rome. The same people ruling America today is the rulers of Rome, the descendants of the rulers of Rome. And the rulers of Rome, the Greeks went over to Sicily and conquered and colonized Sicily, which then they ended up moving north. And then in Rome is when they took power and they started training all their households and was building their armies within their own households, which gave them power to fight against the Greeks, right? But the Greeks was already over there. It's the same people. The only thing is the Romans was accepting whoever wanted to join their army, right? They was accepting all nations, even the Israelites, right? You can read about this in 1st Maccabees, 2nd Maccabees. Keep going.
The other 3 beasts had their authority
taken from them.
Right? These other beasts had their authority taken from them. He says no other nation on this earth that's in rulership outside of the European Caucasian white man. You can say Russia, but guess what? Russia's a white man. Right? Russia's a white man. America's a white man. The UK is a white man. Europe, French, Britain, Spain. All these people are European Caucasian white nations. There's no other nation that was prophesied to come into rulership that's in rulership today. They all answer to the white man.
Right.
The white man say you got to be homosexuals and celebrate a gay parade. Guess what? These other nations fall into it.
Right.
They listen to the Americans, the white Americans. Keep on.
But they were allowed to live a little while.
Right. They still here, but they don't have any rulership. Keep on.
Salaki, they were allowed to live a while longer. As my vision continued that night, I saw someone like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient One and was led into his presence.
Right? This is Jesus Christ led in the presence of the Most High God. Christ and God is not the same. Christ is not the Most High God. Keep on.
He was given authority, honor, and sovereignty over all the nations of the world, so that the people of every race and nation and tongue would obey him.
Right? So when do we see so-called Jesus Christ coming back? In the times of the boastfulness of this little horn. In the boastfulness of America, we see who the world calls Jesus Christ coming back and getting the dominion and the rulership that all nations going to serve. If not, they're going to perish. They had to get down and lay them. Right, white girls? Keep going.
His rule is eternal.
Right.
It will never end. His kingdom will never be destroyed.
Right? Christ's kingdom ain't never going to be destroyed. So that's just to show you that them Jewish people in the land aren't the real Jews. Because if they was the real Jews and they came back to the land according to prophecy, then there would be no Palestinians blowing them up. They won't need help from America. They're supposed to be the ruling nation, but the Israelis need help from America.
Right.
So they can't be the true Jews, right? They can't be the Israelites of the Bible. Right? But you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the Israelites. Right? You are the real Jews, you are the 10 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. But you so-called Native Indians and Latinos are the 10 tribes, and you so-called Negroes are the real Jews. Right, keep on. Yeah.
I, Daniel, was troubled by all I had seen.
So now we're going to get an understanding, because we already told you that the lion was Babylon, the bear was the Persians and Medes, the leopard was the Greeks, and this fourth beast that was different from all others was the Romans. And this little horn being another nation of people, right, which would be America. And Daniel is about to break this down. Go ahead. Right.
I, Daniel, was troubled by all I had seen, and my vision terrified me. So I approached one of those standing beside the throne, and I asked him what it all meant. He explained it to me like this. This four huge beast represents four kingdoms that will arise from the earth.
Right. This four huge beasts represents four kingdoms that would arise from the earth. The lion being Babylon, the bear being the Persian beasts, the leopard being the Greeks, and the first beast being the Romans. This is prophecy that got fulfilled, man. Right? We getting this out the Bible, not out the Quran, man. Right? All you Negroes and Latinos that's filling up this Islamic community, right? I want to know why. Like, if you're looking to serve God, you're not serving him in Islam. You can't serve God in Islam. You're serving a rock. Right? You're serving a bunch of gods, man. You are serving Muhammad. You're not serving God. And that's why y'all getting destroyed, man. Right. The truth is over here, man. There's no reason for y'all to be over there. Right? Keep going.
But in the end, the holy people of the Most High Yahweh,
right? The holy people, which are the Israelites and not the Ishmaelites. The holy people are the Israelites. So if you Negroes and Latinos believe that y'all not Israelites and y'all in Islam, you're not Ishmaelites neither. So you're following the wrong way, even if you don't believe you're the children of Israel. Right? Because the Quran will tell you that the Most High gave the covenant to the children of Israel. And any imam, right, any of your Muslim scholars will let you know that the Israelites is going to be given the earth. Right? The Israelites is going to be given the earth forever and ever. So if you're not an Israelite or you're not an Ishmaelite, Then what you doing even serving this? Right. Right? But we can prove that you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are under the covenant of the Most High. There is no other nation on this earth, including the Arabs, that are not under this covenant. Right? You Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are under this covenant. You are under the cursing. How? Because it's a sign and a wonder for us to wonder why you going through this shit, and a sign to let us know who these people are. And you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all have the big stop sign, a big sign of curses on y'all. Everywhere y'all go, it's like a black cloud following us, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. But these Arabs that sell you pork, right, with a kufi on, right? These Arabs that sell you pork, right? They'll sell you cigarettes, which is haram, right? They'll sell you Dutches. They'll sell you everything abominable to the Most High. And they'll give you a daughter for now. They'll give you your 9-year-old daughter. Yeah, them Arabs, man, they nothing but pedophiles, man. Their Islamic religion ain't nothing but a pedophilic, man. Just like Catholicism, just like Christianity. And we will read it to you. We got the Quran, but we can go to Sunnah.com and we can show you the Hadith, man. Right. We can do that. We actually study this, man. That the children of Israel made the covenant with the Most High God, not Ishmael. Right? So if you follow in Islam, that you have to believe that you are a lesser people on this earth. Right? You have to believe that you are less than other people. But y'all swear y'all the shit though. Right? Keep going.
But in the end, the holy people of the Most High Yahweh will be given the kingdom.
Right? The holy people of the Most High will be given the kingdom. But we see the kingdom of heaven getting blown up. The kingdom, which is Palestine, is getting blown up. So them Arabs can't be given the kingdom. The Muslims can't be given the kingdom. They can't be the holy people of the Most High. They are not the holy people of the Most High, man. So you don't know what you worship. You're not searching for God. You're just searching for protection in the prison system. Right, people?
And they will rule forever and ever.
Right, we're going to rule forever and ever. So if the Muslims was the people, the holy people of the Most High, or if the Israelis, the Jewish people, was the holy people of the Most High, then we'll see them ruling forever and ever. But we see them getting blown up every day. Right? Oh! So they are not the people, because the real people are about to move in, man. Right? The Most High fights ahead of us, man. And he'll drive these nations out of the land to move us in. Right. The Most High tell us to kill everybody in the land. Right. Just like he told Joshua, all you fake Christians don't believe in God. Right. The Most High told Joshua to kill everything in the land. Man. Right. It's including the Muslims, man. Right. Keep going.
Then I wanted to know the true meaning of the fourth beast.
Bring it out.
The one so different from the others and so terrifying. It had devoured and crushed its victims with iron teeth.
It's the Romans.
And bronze claws, trampling their remains beneath its feet. I also asked about the 10 horns on the fourth beast's head.
Right, the 10 horns on the fourth beast's head. What is it?
And the little horn that came up afterward and destroyed 3 of the other horns.
Right, this is prophecy, man. This is on-point prophecy that actually came to pass in the Holy Bible, but y'all follow the Quran like you got some type of power in it, right? There's no power in that book, man. Keep going.
This horn had seemed greater than the others, and it had human eyes and a mouth that was boasting arrogantly, right? As I watched, this horn was waging war against God's holy people.
Right, this horn was waging war with God's holy people. America waged war with the Native Indians and the so-called Negroes, man. This is God's holy people. And we see America oppressing Blacks and Hispanics. Keep going.
And was defending them until the ancient one, the Most High Yahweh, came to judge in favor of his holy people.
Right, the Most High going to judge. All this judgment happening in Palestine is the favor of God's holy people. Right. All this judgment happening in Israel is the favor of God's holy people. The cobblestone getting flooded is a favor, right? God did us a favor, man. Right? Morocco getting a 7.9 magnitude earthquake is a favor, man. Right? What was it? I think it's right under Asia. You got not Palestine, so the people. what's this bull? What's this bull? Bull made up a little Mexican Pacquiao where he from? Oh, Filipino just got a hell of an earthquake. I forgot the magnitude, but now there's tsunami warnings all over the place, man. Right? The Most High is judging the earth in favor of God's holy people. Right? The white man, woman, and child can't produce any more kids. Right? They're a dying race. Man. Right? The American dollar is falling. You got America fighting wars in Ukraine. You got America fighting wars in Iran, in Israel. You got America fighting wars in Brazil right now because you got Brazil and Argentina going through. I think it's Argentina. Venezuela. I think it's Venezuela. Right? God is favoring the Israelites, God's holy people, blowing up Palestine. Boom! Right? All this is all favor. He's doing us a favor because he about to move us in, man. Because that Islam shit ain't got nothing to do with us, man. Right? That Christian shit ain't got nothing to do with us, man. Right? God is not favoring us for bowing down, rubbing our head into the concrete, or bowing down and worshiping a white man. Right? He ain't favoring us for that, man. But we out here teaching the truth of this Bible. We out here bringing out prophecies, truth prophecies that Islam would say that has been corrupted. But they have yet, because we come out every week, and they have yet proven this Bible to be corrupted, or have yet shown any corruption within this Bible. Right? So they're just for us comes to believe that y'all just believe whatever the hell they tell you. Right? When we actually read it. Right? We actually go in here and we actually want to find it. Just like Black Friday. Right? I was teaching Black Friday shit for years. Everywhere for years, and nobody ever corrected me. But finally, we got corrected that Black Friday shit was bullshit. Right? That's just proof. Because I never actually did the research until that day I woke up on Black Friday and actually wanted to post some historical shit. And I'm like, yeah, this shit is a fraud. Right? You know what I mean? All praise to the Most High, we got corrected and we wanted to teach that. Right? Right? But that's just an example of our people taking things and running with it because it sounds good. Right? Right? Because it fits their doctrine. And we can't be doing that. We can't be out here forcing the Bible to fit a narrative, man, because all we need is the truth. The Bible is the truth within itself. We don't need to add or take away nothing from it. This is going to prove everything we need. And we don't know everything, but we know enough to be able to be out here and defend this thing. Right. So keep on. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. Y'all Israelites. What's up? Say Shalom. You say Shalom? You say Shalom? You say Shalom? Oh, I thought you said what's up? Oh, all praise to the Most High. You know he a black man? With brown skin, as if it burned in a furnace, and woolly hair. Who got woolly hair? Right? Right. You ain't never known he was a black man since? And he's not the Most High God. The Christian church don't teach shit. Well, the Christian church ain't teaching nothing. Christ is a so-called black man, but y'all rather go and worship an Arab. Y'all rather worship Muhammad. Who don't curse? Who, Christians? That's the only commandment they keep. And that ain't even a commandment.
Don't say shit.
Then he said to me, this fourth beast is the fourth world's power that will rule the earth.
Right? This fourth beast was in Rome. It's a fourth world's power. So these beasts are the world's power, which is the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, and this fourth beast being the Romans. They are the fourth world's power that will rule the earth. Keep on.
It will be different from all the others.
Right? And he done prophesied from Babylonian captivity all the way to so-called Jesus Christ coming back in dominion and rulership where all nations going to serve him. Right? Including the Arabs. Look at this. Harold and Kumar. I feel weak. Keep going.
It will devour the whole world.
Right? It's going to devour the whole world. This fourth beast was the Romans. And they did. Right? Keep going.
Trampling and crushing everything in its path. Its 10 horns are the 10 kings who will rule the empire.
Right? The 10 horns are 10 kings that will rule the empire. That's Belgium. That's Netherlands. That's Germania. What is it? Let's say it again. got it on our sign over here, but our beloved brother blocking. It's Belgium, Netherlands, England, and Ireland. One at Spain is Britain, Slovakia. Spain and Portugal is one is Spain. West Germany, Luxembourg, Denmark, Italy, Greece, and France. These are the 10 horns that plot, the 10 kings that came up into rulership after the Romans fell. Right, keep going.
Yeah. Then another king will arise, different from the other 10.
Right, this is America rising different from the other 10.
Then,
And we see Britain, Spain, and France within them 10 horns. Keep going.
then another will arise, different from the other 10, who will subdue 3 of them.
Right, he's going to subdue 3 of them. He's going to destroy 3 of these nations. That's America, the little horn, right, destroying the French, the British, and the Spaniards. This Bible is true, man.
Right.
This prophecy alone, with this American history book, you can't say that this prophecy is false, man. This Bible is false, right? But if you believe in a white man's history, if you believe in a white man's science, Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, right? They don't know how Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, but there's evidence of the city of David, right? They got medallions from Isaiah and Hezekiah. They got pottery, all type of archaeological evidence to prove that they were Israelites living at the time. That this history is emphatically true. Even if you don't believe it, it don't matter because the white man said it, and you gotta believe it because the white man's right, right? Keep going.
He will defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High.
This little horn was going to defy the Most High. How is America defying the Most High? By having all these homosexual parades, right? By selling our people pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Everything against God, right? Making weed legal so we can smoke a weed, right? Selling us tobacco to smoke, right? All this is against God. So he defied the Most High and oppressed his people by selling them pork, selling them shrimp, crab, and lobster, got them celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving and 4th of July and Juneteenth.
No.
Right? This is keeping us in sin. This is oppressing us and keeping us at a lower state. Because if we came back to the Most High, kept His commandments, we'll be put above all these other nations on this earth.
Right.
But these coon-ass Negroes and Latinos, man, they just want to be equal with everybody. We all equal. How am I equal to these people? Right? My son, Blair, there is no way that Black, Hispanic men, women, and children is equal to these people right here.
Hey!
These degenerates. There's no way that we equal. But our people want to be equal. They don't want rulership of the earth. They don't want that kind of responsibility. They just want to be slaves and get told what to do, right? Because they don't know what to do. They don't know who they are, where they at, where they came from, or where they going. So they just idle. You know what I mean? Give me a command, white man. Keep going.
That ain't my fucking equal.
Imagine that.
He will try to change their sacred festivals and law.
He's changing our laws. We don't keep the laws of the Most High, but we keep the laws of the white man. He changed our laws, man. Our coon-ass Black and Hispanic brothers and sisters don't want to keep the laws of the Most High, right? But they want to cuff their pants. They don't want to keep the laws of the Most High, but they want to rub their head in the rug. They don't want to keep the laws of the Most High, but they stopping at the stop sign. They stopping at the red light. They paying taxes to the same people that rape, rob, murder, and enslave them. They celebrate all of the white man's days. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, 4th of July, Columbus Day. Y'all celebrate Columbus Day. But when it comes to the Most High, y'all don't want to get to know about that. But y'all want to know about Egyptology. Y'all don't even know about Islam. Y'all don't know nothing about the Quran, how deep, or the sealed nectar, or the Sunnah. Y'all have no idea about none of that. Christians don't know about the Bible. All they know is the New Testament. They've read Paul. They never read red letters. They never read God's words or the prophets.
That's crazy. That's crazy, though. Is Christ divided? Yeah.
Jesus was Paul crucified for you? But these Christians are Paulins. They're not Christians. They don't follow.
Right.
They don't follow Christ, man.
Right.
These Christians follow Paul, man. And just like the Bible says, man, these people wrestle with Paul's words, huh? Just like how they do with the other scriptures, like John 3:16. So they own destruction.
Paul said,
But they don't follow what Christ said. They don't go to the prophets and see what the prophets said, right? They don't go to God's words. What's up, King?
How you doing? I'm
Good.
good.
Well, the reason we got 3 cameras is because we got one that's recording it in high def, one that's on different platforms like YouTube and,
Oh, it's live
and Facebook. Yep, and this
Okay.
one is on Instagram. Something like that. So we got different platforms live right now. So that's why we need
Okay.
multiple.
Very good. Usually I go around with the GoPro creator system to see. I'm always ready to capture police and prison on public transportation on bus.
You police and the police.
I police and police on buses.
That's what's
Okay,
up.
and I saw a senior get dragged from a bus seat on the same day the separate cop was killed up in Germantown.
Yeah.
At Brother Tremont, a black senior was dragged from the chest off a senior seat to the floor, down the steps, and to the ground because of a minor disagreement with the bus driver who happened to be Muslim. It was a Muslim black bus driver wearing all black, okay? And she wasn't supposed to be wearing all black. She's supposed to wear separate uniform as required. But the man behind her, he was sitting on the bus behind her, and he made a comment about how she sweated a guy in crutches getting on the bus, and the woman was from West Africa wearing all black, and she hardly spoke English, but she called the police on the man because he made a comment, and the police came and dragged him off the bus on the same day the cop was killed, and on that day, on that same week, SEPTA implemented a uniform policy change because of that incident with this woman wearing all black. But in any case, my name is Ron Budget Jr., Ron Billy Jr., YouTube, Ron Billy Jr., YouTube, and at some point there will be a video of that confrontation with the cop, dragged the senior by the chest, dragged him to the floor, or down the steps to the floor, to the ground with no probable cause. I shouted 100 times, no probable cause, and screaming at my lungs, at the top of my lungs, and the cop, he left the bus, he came and dragged the senior and pulled him to the ground, down the steps, and you will be hearing about it, okay? Ron Billy Jr., YouTube, Ron Bunyan Jr., Facebook, BUNYON Jr.
Take one of my cars.
Don't take one of your cars. I happen to be,
I'm a subscribe.
yes, I happen to be non-religious, but I'm for world peace.
We're non-religious.
I believe that everybody in the world should live in peace and harmony, and I'm all about making this world a better place for all people. I believe in dignity for all people. That's all.
Yeah, but God teaches. All right, so who's the best answer?
I'm not religious. I don't feed into any type of philosophy involving, God.
You don't believe in God?
Well, I don't believe in mythology.
So you don't believe in God? So is that God? So you not believe in mythology?
I just stated to you that I don't believe in
And
mythology.
you would consider a God being
All gods are mythical.
okay.
Period.
So what? How do you explain? Do you think that a book can fall from the sky and write itself? That's mythology, right? A book falling from the sky and writing itself. Do you believe that can happen?
Mythology is made up stories.
Okay, so just a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that a book can fall from the sky, written page and number?
That's a made up story
That's a made up
by
story.
a human being.
So your DNA is the book of life. So who created that? If a book can't fall from the sky and
All
create
of these
itself,
invisible things from the sky
Yeah.
are made up stories by human beings.
so answer this.
They're made up
Your
stories.
DNA, right?
They're mythology.
Is DNA mythology?
I do not embrace mythology.
I'm not talking about. We're talking about science. Right?
I'm
Proven
talking about philosophy.
We're talking about proven
I'm talking.
science.
Religion comes under the umbrella of philosophy.
You gotta follow
Idealism.
me. Can you follow me?
No,
Follow me. You don't believe that a book can fall from the sky written by itself. But what I'm saying is DNA. Every
I
living
teach
organism,
philosophy.
every living
Have you
organism.
ever studied philosophy?
Yes.
Religion comes under philosophy under the
Yeah.
wing called idealism.
Who created philosophy? The Greeks, the white. You know that?
So
Yeah,
philosophy,
the Greeks come from
philosophy is a state of mind.
but the first philosophers were the Greeks. The first philosophers were the Greeks.
Then if you read Western
So
history
you follow
books,
the white.
that's
Yeah.
if you're addicted to Western history books.
Yeah, we actually
There are a lot of
look, we actually proven the Bible with
you're making references.
American history.
You're making references to Western historians.
We're proving the history of the Bible and the prophecies of the Bible with American history. So American history lines up with everything the Bible says. How the origins of America came about is exactly how the Bible says.
All the stories in the Bible are freaking make-believe fantasy stories. Period. If you believe that, that's your choice. That's your choice
So,
tonight.
okay, but your
All
DNA,
fantasy.
okay, but your DNA
All the
is
fantasy.
written. Your
All the
DNA
Bible
has,
stories in the Bible are fantasy.
look, your DNA,
Plain, simple.
when you're born, you are given DNA. This DNA tells
So
the
you're not
cells
listening to
what
me.
color of your
I'm
eyes
saying
is
the
going to
Bible
be.
you
I know.
embrace is full of fantasy stories.
Okay, but you're,
Are you connected to reality?
yeah, something that's a
There's
reality.
no
But
such
I'm
thing
trying to
as
see
a
your
woman
connection.
from the biblical man. That's total fantasy.
Well, that's called a
There's
metaphor.
no such
That's
thing as
called
a,
a metaphor.
there's no such thing as the world being created in 7 days.
Well, it wasn't 7 days.
That's total
See,
fantasy.
it was created in 7,000
There's no
years.
such
It
thing
was
as
created in
Noah's Ark.
7,000 years.
That's total
Noah's Ark, they
fantasy.
actually found it on
It's
Mount.
all
Look,
mythology.
but they said that in
I'm
Aaron.
going to speak on mythology. You're trying to change the subject
I'm not
away
trying
from
to. You're
mythology.
changing the subject.
You
I'm
are-
asking you a
Your
question.
beliefs are based
Look,
on
look.
mythical beliefs, which is
All right.
mythical beliefs are based on make-believe stories, mythology.
Can I ask you a
Period.
question?
No, you can't.
I can't answer the
No, you
question.
can't.
I can't answer the
Because
question.
you're trying to change the topic from mythology.
But we're
The
not
issue
talking
is
about mythology.
mythology.
All right,
You are promoting mythology,
but-
made up
all right.
stories,
So what I'm
all
telling you,
stories in the
what I'm
Bible.
telling you is you don't believe that a book can fall out from the sky and create itself, but
I
you
don't
believe that
believe
DNA
anything
created
magical.
itself. You
I
believe
don't
that
believe
nothing
anything
created
magical.
everything. You believe nothing created everything.
I don't
You believe
fantasy.
how you gonna believe in fantasy, but nothing created everything?
You
That's a
talk
fantasy
about-
in itself.
I don't believe
That's the
fantasy.
white man's
I don't believe
ideology,
the
man. You
biblical
believe the
fantasy.
white man, and you worship the white man.
I don't believe
You
it.
celebrate things.
I don't
You had a whole
believe it.
lot of turkey and
I
pork.
don't
in you.
celebrate
Right?
Thanksgiving because I respect the Native Americans,
All praise
Indian
to the Most High.
population
All praise to
that,
the Most High.
that was killed by way of
What
genocide.
about Christmas?
Okay,
What about Christmas?
I don't celebrate biblical fantasy.
Christmas is in the village.
Do you understand me? I'm speaking plain
You
English.
celebrate
I do
Christmas?
not.
You
I
celebrate
do not
Christmas?
embrace any form of biblical fantasy. You do.
No,
And I don't.
you embrace.
Yes, you do.
You embrace
If you
the white.
embrace the Bible, you are
You
embracing
embrace
a
the white.
lot of
You have no
a lot of
understanding of the
fantasy
Bible.
stories. Huh?
You don't have
I have
understanding
no
of it.
interest in reading a book.
That's
You
why.
don't have-
Hold on. So look, that's why your people. That's why your children get shot. Right? That's why you're buried. That's why we bury our babies with, instead of our babies burying the parents. That's why we don't only want filling up the prison house. That's why we so destroyed because of old niggas like this. Man. Old people like this has destroyed and led our people to destruction.
Oh yeah. The reason why you're saying this is because you get the understanding of the Bible from Europeans, man, and they don't have the
You're
understanding.
pushing European missionary BS that was pushing Africa. You're doing the same thing right here. The biblical bullshit that they push in Africa, you're pushing it right now, right
How
here.
is
in
it bullshit
Philadelphia.
when they got archaeological proof of these
But this is
places?
what-
They got the city of David. They found tablets. They got papyruses. They got all these different archaeological evidence that goes with their scientific belief.
You are promoting missionary
Science
indoctrination.
proves the history of the Bible.
The missionaries came to Africa with biblical indoctrination. You're promoting that.
It's not. No, the white man came with biblical indoctrination with this white Jesus, right? That everybody can be saved. That this God in his Bible is the God of everybody.
You are
Right, but the Bible said we see the Bible we see the Bible calling black people niggas.
the Christian
We
missionaries.
see the black people the Bible calling black people niggas. The white man,
Missionaries were behind
this
slavery.
Bible prophesied
The
every
Christian
ruling
missionaries were
kingdom.
behind
This
slavery.
Bible prophesied every ruling kingdom from the 500s of BC all the way until right now. How is it? So look.
Magical stories, all magical
So look.
stories are fantasy.
So look. If I said something was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Before it happened, let's say I said it was going to happen. I died. and then in heaven, right? Is that Vince? Is that magic?
Have you ever studied
I'm just
science?
asking you a question.
What is your
Why you
background in science, sir?
Our background in
If
science is
elementary
was fire.
school, in junior high school, definitely not come. You do not have a background in
Listen,
science.
listen, science,
You're talking, you're
We're not
outside
proud.
of it.
science came from the
You
Babylonians.
reject science.
Science came from the
You
Babylonians.
reject science.
Science came from the Babylonians. They were studying astrology. They changed the time to 24-hour days and seconds in the day. So the Babylonians created science, and then the Greeks came and they started their philosophy, the thing that you worship.
I
You
reject
worship the
all
white,
forms of
right?
mythology.
But you accept the white.
Brad Billy Jr.
Look, we said this place
You
on
too.
fire.
Brad
All
Billy
praise on
Jr.
both sides.
You too.
We go. I'm gonna get
Brad
it just
Billy
so I can see the
Jr.
videos. I'm gonna subscribe to so I can see the videos that you're producing. But it's people like you that got our children running around.
Brad Billy,
It's people like you that got little kids killing little kids, man, because you have led our people to destruction.
you and what?
Right? You have led our people to destruction.
Well, look,
I'm talking over to you because you're talking nonsense.
We're not talking about you can't. We was talking,
You're promoting
right?
fantasy.
So prove that it's nonsense.
Prove
Prove it now. Prove it.
It's nonsense. All
Prove it.
fantasy is
the
nonsense.
white man told him that this is nonsense.
Yeah.
Number
You
one,
can't just say anything.
you
Oh, you gotta prove the white man.
prove everything
The
you're
white
saying.
man science.
Science proves
That's science proof when the white man.
Science doesn't disprove God. Science does not disprove God because you have atheist scientists that believe in God. There has not been a scientist to disprove God at all.
You've never said it.
Right? You believe two rocks collided each other. You believe that two rocks collided each other and created an explosion. Show me a time in history when an explosion created order and not chaos. Where in history? Look. Where in history? Listen, okay. See, that's the problem. See, our children don't know how to listen because these old heads don't know how to listen. Right? So listen. Show me a time in history. Listen. Listen. The Big Bang Theory came from Catholicism. The Big Bang Theory came from Catholicism. It was a priest, it was a Catholic priest that came up with this Big Bang Theory. So tell me, you believe that two rocks collided. You believe that two rocks collided, created an explosion, and made everything by an accident? Do you believe that? I'm asking you a question. Listen, I can't answer your questions if you're not answering my question. You see, this all people. All people believe that two rocks collided and created all things to be perfect, right? It's all people that believe that an explosion, right, created order. But there is never no explosion in history that ever caused anything but chaos. But according to these simple-ass minded Negroes, right, they believe that there was two rocks that smacked into each other and life was created. Birds were created with DNA, plants was created with DNA, human was created with DNA. DNA is the book of life. He doesn't believe that a book will fall from the sky and write itself, but he believes the book of life just happened by accident and wrote itself. How you believe that a book didn't fall from the sky and create itself, but you believe the DNA just happened by an accident? DNA tells you what the color of your eyes is going to be when you get older, the color of your hair, how tall, how wide you're going to be. This is what DNA already got prophesies. The DNA prophesies what you're going to look like before you get older. But you believe, we do study science. You don't study science. That's why you don't answer questions, man. Right? Just like Muslims. They're no different than Muslims, man. They don't answer questions.
He said this book was a white man's book, but how is it a white man's book when it says this? Revelation 13:10. He that leads into captivity,
The white man led this Negro in captivity.
shall go into captivity.
Man, you comfortable in captivity. You don't want to get nobody in captivity. He like, I believe everybody is equal. Right? I'm a slave. I was considered a property, not a people. I was considered 3/5 of a human, but somehow he believes that we all equal. The white man don't believe that we all equal. But these simple ass Negroes and Latinos, man. A big bang. I don't believe in God. I believe in two rocks colliding to each other. Where did the materials for these rocks come from to cause an explosion? Where these materials come from? How did nothing create everything when there was an explosion? This shit just fell apart. Look, he called the bus. He's so smart that he catching the bus. Talking to the Muslim driver. All people destroyed. You black Hispanics and Native Indians are a damn mockery to these nations, man. Y'all bow down to stupid ass rocks. Y'all bow down to a white man. And y'all believe that a Big Bang came together. And the only thing, listen, philosophy came from the Greeks. Philosophy came from the white man, right? And the Big Bang Theory. He believes in the white man. You know what I mean? Listen, NASA said, if NASA said it, if the white man said it, it's right. If it's right, it's right. There was a time, man, I used to get high shit. There was a time when I used to always like put white lines. Yo, that's how destroyed we are, man. That's how destroyed we are. And that's an example. That brother is an example of how destroyed we are. All people bow down to stones, right? They scream Arabic. When Abraham was a Hebrew, the fuck are you doing? Right? Then they bow down to a white man and keep coming back to save you Negroes.
You can't find nowhere in history where a white man died for fucking anybody.
The white man died for the white man.
That's it. You can't die for the whole world.
What you got?
You would never find that, bro.
I'm about to get on my bed. Keep going. Keep going. I'll switch it up in the spirit.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Right? So we over here just prove that his science lines up with prophecy. This prophecy was written thousands of years before it came to pass. We're in the year 2000. So this 2,000 years back plus to 500, so 2,500 years. 2,500 years of prophecy that's coming to pass today. That came to pass in history. The Babylonian captivity, the Persian Mede captivity, the Greek, the Romans, and this little horn being America. All prophecy, the 10 European, the NATO coming into power. But somehow this is she call it a mythical thing. Somehow this Bible is mythical. When the Bible said that you be killing your own people. Because you Negroes and Latinos don't kill nobody else. You don't kill Chinese people, white people, Arabs. You only kill each other, which the Bible said y'all would do. The Bible said you would have fatherless households. The majority of the population of the Negroes and Latinos had fatherless households. This was written thousands of years ago. He said that we would be treating our women, we would have the evil eye to our women. And look at our woman working to get $1.
And with you selling drugs,
Yep.
locked up in the trap.
But somehow this is mythology. He didn't want us to talk because we could have went to the Bible and proved it. But he has so much hate against God, just like all these atheists do. All these atheists, the thing is, their son died, their mom died, and they blamed God. I mean, they were so mad that their brother died, and something like that, that they blamed God for it. And now they're dedicating their lives to deceive people that believe in God. That's all these atheists do, because they can't prove there is no God. Because science never proved that there was no God. But they won't believe in God, but they'll believe that two rocks collided and created Earth and the sun and the moon and the stars and plants and animals and human life. And everything works together, right? By an accident. By an accident. That's what people believe. But they don't believe in God. That's too far-fetched. God is too far-fetched. There wasn't a creator, right? But there's so much intelligent design in the creation, like DNA, like atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, how the wind is invisible, but it can move a house.
Then they don't believe in God because they can't see him. But they can't see the wind or the or the electricity or the cell phone itself.
But they'll believe that a bomb created something.
Yeah. Where the fuck, who created the bomb? Who created the explosion to create the Earth? It's too simple, man. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, y'all need to come out of your science. Y'all need to come out of Islam. Y'all need to come out of Christianity, man, because it's doing nothing for our community. It's destroying our community. Y'all killing each other, selling drugs to each other. It's doing nothing. There's no prophecies. There's no point in being a Christian and being a Muslim. There's no point in it. What does it benefit? What do I get out of it? See, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We get protection, right? We get favor from the Most High God. We come out here and do this, and we gather in spiritual riches. Right? Our kids are smarter than they ever been. I'm smarter than I ever been. I never had this much knowledge in my fucking life. You know what I mean? But coming to the law, statutes, and commandments, it's just natural. I need to know this. I need to know this. I need to know this because I'm going to teach this. Right? And in order for me to teach it, I got to understand it. But that's why nobody can teach Islam, because they don't understand Islam. Right? That's why they can't teach Christianity, because they don't read the book. But we read the book, and we showing you how real this book is, how it lines up with everything that we're going through. But our people don't want to believe that. They want to believe 2 rocks collided. And then jump on a bus. You so damn smart that you had to catch the bus. But if you really was that intelligent, right? If things can happen by accident, how come you ain't accidentally rich? Just keep going. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Peruvians, man. All of y'all Israelites, man. You were Israelite. You God's chosen people, man. You gotta turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments so you can get your people out of the cages in Mexico, man. So we can stop being oppressed by these European Caucasian dogs. Right. Right? This dog, puppies. Fuck the white man in the days again to celebrate. Right? But keep going on it.
They shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right, they wearing us the fuck out. Where the fuck you gonna go? You can't even, bro. We went to the fucking American history to prove everything Daniel just said. We just went to American history textbook to prove the prophecies of the Bible. But somehow y'all believe in Islam. Show me the Quran doing that. Anybody show me prophecies in the Quran? As a matter of fact, they said that Muhammad's personalities, what did it say? His personality, his what? Was found in the Torah. His personality, his way of living was found in the Torah. And they go to this Hebrew word that at a glance looks like Muhammad, right? It don't even fucking make sense. And it means loving. So he's just loving. He's a pedophile, man. Right? Muhammad is a dirty ass Edomite. For real, he's a white man. He was a Roman. Muhammad was a Roman.
They spend their lives to get on the plane, risk their life, to all the way
To kiss a rock. They sticking their head in the fucking little dent of the rock like it's a cow's ass. That's what it reminds me of. The Africans, they stick their head up in the cow's ass. That's what it looked like they was doing at the cobblestone. Kissing that joint, catching herpes.
Both sides is embarrassing of the way you worship. Embarrassing, yo, with them idols.
down to the day, they all flooded. Sure.
Yo, Palestine on fire, man. All that shit is getting destroyed, man. The Most High destroying all these false idols, man.
And this how you know it's the board that I bought the rich shit from. That's our people. And it's all flooded.
He ain't get to kiss the rock.
He get to kiss it.
But we got his people kissing our boots. Now we got the Arabs kissing boots. Right. I'm telling you, man, that Quran ain't got no power, man. Keep going on that. We're going to show the power of the folks how the prophecies in this Bible he gave to the prophets who are the children of Israel came to pass, man. Keep going.
In fact, to change times and laws.
Right? The white man thought to change times and laws, man, but we're going to change his last name, right? Keep going.
And they shall be given into his hand until the times and the dividing of time.
Right, that's 350 years. That's from 1619. 1619 is when the Southern Kingdom, when the so-called Negroes came over to the America to be slaves with the Native Indians. 1619. We were oppressed together, like the prophecy says. Until 1969 is when we found our identity. is when the blacks and the Spaniards started keeping law, statutes, and commandments, and the truth of God started being presented out to the streets. And ever since then, we have been seeing the fall of America. Keep going.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
Right? He's going to destroy these kingdoms until the end, man. That includes Palestine. Man. This includes the Arabian race. Keep going.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High.
Right? The people of the saints of the Most High are all Israelites and our Arabs, man. Now remember, Hagar and Ishmael got kicked out the crib and sent to the east with the other concubine wives, man. Right? Ishmael is not a child of God. He is not a saint. And the kingdom is not going to be given to him because, as we see right now, the kingdom is being taken from the Arabs. Keep going.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
Right? Everlasting kingdom. It ain't going to get bombed. It ain't going to get invaded like how we see today. Keep going.
And all the dominion shall serve and obey him.
Right?
Hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much trouble me, and my countenance changed in me.
Right? Daniel was fucked up by this, man. Daniel just couldn't believe everything he saw. Daniel seen this vision and he went pale. He got sick to his stomach because of the things that he seen was about to happen to his people. His people was already in the Babylonian captivity. Right? He seen them going to a Persian captivity. He seen them going to a Greek captivity. And we seen him go into the Roman captivity. Right? And we saying that the Greeks are the white man, the Romans are the white man, saw the Most High God. But we're going to prove that this red man, he's not really white. But we're going to prove that he's white. Right? And we're going to prove that with the Greeks. So, Yashar Yar, let me get. I mean, two scriptures. I mean, one in Esther. I mean, Esther. Let me get Esther 3:1, and I want to get additions to Esther 16 and 10. Look at that. Esther.
Esther 3:1.
Let me get Esther 3:1.
Esther 3 from the top.
Verse 15.
And Marcedonius took his rest in the court with Gabbatha.
I addition to Esther. Regular Esther. I assume Esther. You come out first with Esther. The European Caucasian white man is an Edomite. He's an Edomite of the Bible. The Greeks, the Romans, and the rulers of America are all the same people. And they are all Edomites.
Esther 3:1. After these things, the king Ahasuerus promoted Haman and
Haman, right? Asa Harris promoted Haman. Keep on.
promoted Haman, the son of
Hamadatha.
the Agagite.
Right? So Haman was the son of Hamadatha, the Agagite. Right? Keep on. We're going to finish this out.
And advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Right? So Haman, the son of Hamadatha, was an Agagite. Let's see who the Agagite is. Bring that up. let me get 1 Samuel 15.
1 Samuel 16 and 15 and 8.
Genesis. You at 1 Samuel? All right, hold that. Let me get Genesis 36 and 12. Yeah, bring that up. Yeah, bring that up. I asked you Genesis. Sorry, bring that up.
1 Samuel 15 and 8. Then he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites,
Right?
alive.
He took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive. So Agag is a king of Amalek, right? And Haman was an Agagite. So where did Agag come from? Finish that out.
And utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Right? Agag, the king of the Amalekites, destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword, and there's going to be war with Amalek forever, right? So we see Haman being an Agagite. And the suffix "ite" is meaning the descendant of. So Haman was the descendant of Agag, right? And we see that Agag was an Amalekite, the king of the Amalekites. Now bring that out, now, sir.
Genesis 36 and 12 in the NLT. Timnah, the concubine of Esau's son, Eliphaz gave birth to a son named Amalek. These are the descendants of Esau's wife Adah.
Right? So we're gonna look at this again. We got in Genesis 36, we got Eliphaz, right? Eliphaz was the son of Esau. Eliphaz bears a son called Amalek. So Amalek is the grandson of Esau.
Right.
Right? These are the grandchildren of Esau, right? So now bring that out in 1 Samuel. So we see Amalek being the grandson of Esau. Now we're going to show again.
1 Samuel 15 and 8. Then he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
So Agag was the king of the Amalekites. So Agag being an Amalekite, right? So there ain't gonna be no king of, there ain't gonna be another nation of people ruling over these Amalekites. So Agag was the son of Amalek that was ruling over the nation, right? So now let me get that again.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
Right? So Haman is the son of Hammedatha, an Agagite. So if the father's an Agagite, then Haman is an Agagite, who is Amalekite, who is an Edomite. Keep on.
And advanced him to set his seat above all princes that were with him, and all the kings.
That's it. So now go to Esther 16. Right, so when we go into this Agagite, right, the son of Haman, Haman the Agagite, right? Agagite, or descendant subject of Agag. That's a descendant of Agag. So 16 to 10, additions to Esther. So we see in the Old Testament, God, 16.
Additions of Esther 16 and 10. For Aman and Macedonian, the son of Hammedatha,
Right, Haman. So just like how we see in the New Testament when they bring up Isaiah, when they bring up these prophets, we see that the name changed a little bit, right? They added their own pronunciation into these names. So when we see Haman, in Esther, we see Haman being the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Here we see him being called Haman without the H, and Hammedatha without the H, right? So here we see for Haman and Macedonia. So Haman, the Agagite, in the New Testament or in the Apocrypha, will be called a Macedonian. You go, or in the Greek. You go.
being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood.
Now, he was a stranger to the Persian blood because he wasn't an Elamite. He was an Edomite. Keep going.
And far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
Right. So now go to verse 9. So this is the bloodline. This is the generations of the white man. The white man being Esau. Esau had Amalek, right? Amalek had Agag. Agag is a Macedonian. And we're going to see who the Macedonian is. Let me get First Maccabees 1:1.
First Maccabees 1:1. And it happened after that. Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian.
Right? Alexander the Great, the son of Philip, the Macedonian. Right? So we see Alexander the Great, a ruler of the Greeks, being a white man. Alexander the Great is a white man. He's a Macedonian. Haman is an Agagite, also known as a Macedonian. So Macedonian and Agag go hand in hand. Right? And Macedonian goes back to Agag, which goes back to Amalek, which goes back to Esau. So Alexander the Great is an Edomite. The Greeks were Edomites. Right? The Greeks went and built colonies over there in Sicily and over there in Italy. Yeah, them Negroes cut. That's the thing, man. All our people gotta do is read, man. But the thing is, they got selective reading. So they're like, nah, I don't want to read this part. This part is not going to be true because it doesn't fit my understanding. Which is not for your understanding, man. This is what the Most High said, man.
They fall the same category.
They fall into, yeah. Right? Because original 1611 won't bring all of the 80 books. So they would have to subscribe to, after Martin Luther took out the Apocrypha, for them to subscribe to the Word of God. I heard that. Right? The Greeks were Edomites. The Romans were Edomites, man. The European Caucasian white man is an Edomite. And the Asians, man, you're a Moabite. Man. Right? Moab. Right? Your foremother had sex with their dad. That's why y'all look like that. Right? Hey, pay attention to your husband. Right? All praise to the Most High. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all are the Hebrew Israelites, man. Y'all not Muslim. Y'all not Christians, man. That's not your ethnicity. You're not black. You're not Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican was a term the colonizers put on you. You're not black, Negro, colored, African American, Afro American. Not the color out of a crayon box. Right? The white man said that you was, man. But we out here to give you your identity back, man. We out here giving people their true identity back. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all the Israelites. The European Caucasian white man is the Edomite. Right? The East Indian is an Elamite. The Chinese are Moabites or Ammonites. The Arabs are Ishmaelites. And the Africans are Hamites. And we doing this for free. We giving y'all your identities for free, man. We showing you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to prosper within your nation. We showing you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how we can put our foot on their neck. Right. Just like how they put their foot on our neck, we showing you how we can have our foot on their necks. And we can do it. We're stronger, we're faster, we fight better. Everything we do is better than these people. Right? These people, right? So it's not far-fetched. The only thing is the Most High not giving you the power. But we see the power of the Most High within prophecy. We see the power of the Most High within us being witnesses to the things that the Most High said to the children of Israel. And you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all are cursed people. Y'all are cursed. The Most High has cursed you. Your children, your fathers, your forefathers, all the way to your grandchildren have been cursed. Man. And the only way to break these curses, only way to change the cycle is by turning back to the Most High, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And y'all running out of time. So it's a high time for you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indians to wake the hell up, to get out of your Islam, right? To get out of your white Jesus doctrine, right? All over here serving these people, man. These Arabs don't give a fuck about you Negro Muslims, man. Look at them. So it's our time that you come where the truth at. It's time we come and gather together, man. We come and gather together to take over these nations, man. So we can put these Arabs in slavery, right? So we can step on the children of Muhammad, man. Right, right? With that, we're going to say, cause up and left for y'all, Shema Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, and Mubaf Rabba. Death to Palestine. Death to Palestine. Death to America. Death to America. Oh, praise. What do you say?